a meta-human, faster than the speed of sound, goes back in time to save his late mother from dying. He does so and ends up creating a two timelines, with him being in the middle. The movie starts with a guy named Barry Allen. He orders for his morning breakfast. He gets annoyed because the food vendor is taking too much of his time making the food. Alfred, the butler of a superhero named Batman, calls Barry, who is also the Flash. Alfred asks for Flash's help in saving some people in a building in Gotham. Barry gets changed and prepares to run. Some people see him and it turns out that they are his fans. He runs faster than the speed of sound. He runs really fast on a lake before getting to Gotham City. He gets to the building and saves a man in an ambulance. He tells Alfred that he hasn't taken his breakfast, which is letting him be at a disadvantage. It turns out that, as a result of his speed, his metabolism also works fast. The side of the building hits the ground and we see babies and the nursing mother falling out of the building. Barry, who is the Flash, uses his speed and assesses the situation. He begins to run up the building to save the babies, but instead goes to a vending machine. He eats some snacks which boosts his energy. We see Batman chasing some robbers who stole a very dangerous virus. The robbers throw a bomb which explodes. Batman moves through the fire and is seen flying in the air. He attaches a rope to the robber's car and the robbers use this opportunity to slam him into the other cars. Batman manages to get on the car and defeat the robbers. One robber holding the virus is about to fall in the lake, which could prove to be catastrophic. Batman saves the robber and hangs using a wire he shot. Barry starts to pack the babies, a dog, and the nursing mother on an ironing board. He takes them out of danger and asks the nursing mother to go see a therapist. He runs to go help Batman. Batman almost falls when a female named Diana, also known as Wonder Woman, uses her whip known as the lasso of truth to help pull them up. Barry comes and he says hello to Diana. Diana leaves and so does the others. Barry gets to the food vendor in time to get his food. He gets to work late. He is scolded by his boss immediately after he gets to his office. His workmates go out with him and a female stops them. Her name is Iris West and she went to school with Barry. They start to talk with each other when Barry realizes that she is interviewing him about his father who is in jail. Barry's father was wrongly accused of murdering Barry's mother when Barry was a kid. Barry leaves her and goes home. He calls his father in prison and tells that the evidence he found about his dad not being guilty has a problem and his face cannot be seen in the security camera. Barry is seen in front of his childhood home. He begins to remember his past. The scene takes us to a time when Barry was a kid. His mom forgot to buy a tomato can, so she asked her husband to get it. Barry dances with his mother and goes to his room. He hears his mother scream and he goes to see her. He sees her lifeless body with her dad. The scene comes back to the present. Barry, with too much emotions going on, runs as fast as he can. He unknowingly breaks the sound barrier and gets into a realm where time is infinite. He finds himself in a chrono ball and he sees all the moments he had lived. He gets shocked and leaves the place. He meets his friend, Batman, who is also known as Bruce Wayne. They talk about time travel and the event Barry witnessed. Bruce advises Barry not to travel back in time as the result could prove to be catastrophic. Bruce leaves in his car and Iris comes to Barry as a friend. She requests to come in his room and he speeds up to clean it. Iris compliments him about his neatness when a drawer opened with refuses pouring out. Iris sits and Barry goes to get beer. He realizes his fridge is empty and steals two from his neighbor by phasing his molecules through the wall. They sit to have a chat. Iris talks to Barry and says that if only it was possible to fix all the problems in the world. This statement gives Barry an idea and he leaves, telling Iris that he had a great time. He gets back in the chrono ball and start moving into the past. He gets to the time his mother forgot to get the tomato can. He takes a can and places it his mother cart. He gets back in the chrono ball and sees through time that his mother has been alive and the timeline has changed. Another speedster comes from the time memories and strikes Barry out of the chrono ball. Barry falls in a timeline he knows nothing of. He changes his clothes and goes into his childhood home. He meets his mom and hugs her passionately. He does the same to his father. He is seen eating spaghetti. He sees his other self coming home from outside and is shocked. He tackles his other self and realizes that his other self is 18 years old. Barry takes his other self, who is a time remnant, to the room. He explains everything to his time remnant and Barry is asked to do the speed movement. He does it and we see the remnant smiling. Barry tries to knock out his remnant when he hears his remnant say that he has a date with Iris. Barry stops and the rain starts to fall. Barry realizes that it is the same exact time when he got his powers. He asks his remnant to follow him and that he has 30 minutes to get to the place he got his powers. They stand in front of a door. Barry phases through the door and we see the body molecules of both of them moving through the molecules of the door. They get inside and meet another door. The remnant jumps on Barry and they phase through the glass door. Barry opens the window and puts the remnant at the position the lightning struck him. The remnant hears Barry saying lightning and gets scared. He decides to leave the chair but Barry stops him. The lightning strikes inside and it passes through Barry, hitting the remnant in the process. Barry helps the remnant outside and decides to phase through the wall. They can't and Barry decides to run. He runs as a normal human and realizes that he had lost his powers. He helps his remnant home and explains this to him. His remnant gets excited and starts running through the city. His clothes gets on fire due to the friction and he stops running. This causes an accident and the remnant takes off his clothes. He runs back to Barry and Barry talks to him about phasing. The remnant phases and gets to his landlord's room. They are seen outside. Barry gives his suit to his remnant and they hear a commotion. They see from the television that General Zord had come to Earth. Barry tells the story of when General Zord came to Earth in his timeline. He says that he had just gotten his powers and had nothing to do. He met a father and a son. He was able to save the son but not the father. Barry realizes that, because he messed with the timeline, Superman never made it to Smallville. Barry starts to search for Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman on the internet. He doesn't find them but finds Batman instead. With his knowledge about the future, he goes to Batman's house and gets inside. He is attacked by Batman and is being beaten. Batman attacks the remnant but he moves away with speed. They get his attention and Batman explains using a spaghetti that a change in some point in the timeline doesn't cause a change in that particular time only. It changes the whole thing by creating a new timeline with the person who changed it being in the middle. Barry asks that Batman helps them look for Superman but he refuses. We see Barry using Bruce's computer. He talks to Bruce on the computer because he knows that his Batman had a camera installed in his computer. This proves to be correct as we see Bruce watching. Barry talks about Alfred and this nicks something in Bruce. He gets up and opens a secret door, showing his Batman suits. Watch the part 2 of this recap using the link in the description as we see Trio finds Supergirl and not Superman.